Saturday, 2 November 2013, me and Alex from Evil Dog had an interview with Ken Pontaff, one of the current writers of the Sonic games. The footage is disastrous in both audio and visual quality, so let's just say that this is a written-only interview, and the visuals and audio is only there as evidence that this interview really took place. Sorry for our horrible lack of professionalism. Actual video with my justification and analysis of this interview will follow shortly. Being part of a pirate karaoke panel, Mr. Pontaff dressed up as a pirate for our interview.
Mr. Pontaff, we notice you are often hired for just 1-2 episodes for a whole show. How do you get a feel of the show that fits?
Typically, you're given a show bible and some scripts. You read them and absorb the characters, and I think I'm just a very quick study when it comes to that.
Yes, you are. How did you get involved with Sega for the Sonic the Hedgehog series?
I'm sorry, what?
How did you get involved with Sega with the Sonic the Hedgehog series?
Oh, interesting story. We were doing a game for Happy Tree Friends, and I was in a meeting room with various Sega executives and producers, and I didn't even realize, neither of us realized, my cousin worked at Sega.
Oh.
And I didn't even know he was my cousin. We didn't know each other. We had never met.
Wow.
And so we're introduced, but the names don't click. About a week later, he's having dinner with another cousin who knows both of us, and they realize that I'm related to this guy. So one thing led to another. I worked on the Happy Tree Friends game, then I worked on Mad World, and then I worked on Sonic.
Yes. You work often with a master called Warren Graff. Can you tell me how he adds to your writings?
Warren Graff. Don't you? Actually, Warren's a great guy. He's really funny. He knows more cultural references than anybody I know, and just has them memorized. We met on Happy Tree Friends. Another funny story. He was my neighbor. He lived probably 40 yards away from me in an apartment just down from mine. I'd even met him a couple of times, and didn't realize until we sat in the writer's room. He kind of looked at me and he said, "Do you ever shop at Molly Stone's, which is the market across the street?" And once again, it was that sort of
small world.
It's a very tiny world.
Okay. We noticed you worked on reboots.
Yes.
Tell us the experience of that.
Working on Reboot was great. I only wrote one episode. It was the final episode of the series, although I believe they did some movie type things afterwards. And every single word of my script was rewritten. Every single word, except for the song at the end. I wrote a song that was called End Cap, I believe, and it encapsulated that's probably why they call it End Cap. It encapsulated the entire season in a musical number done to the tune of Modern Major General.
Yes.
And they couldn't change that, and I don't think they wanted to, but they had just different idea of where they wanted the plot to go, so they had to ice it. I subsequently worked with them on War Planets and got to know the guys there. I think it was called something else in Canada, but great group of people.
Actually, I'm friend with David Blair, so...
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I am. So we are Facebook friend and all.
There you are.
Yeah.
He took me to a strip club, because I told him the strip clubs in Portland were great. He said, "Well, let me show you the strip clubs in Canada."
It's Cecil. The strip club is Cecil.
Oh, I couldn't remember that. I killed many brain cells that night. I might have injured a few strippers.
Wow. In Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost Worlds, we get a sense there are a lot of ideas and storylines going on that seems to get weakened at the end. Did Sega kind of mess with the script at the end?
Well, in Colors, they had the entire... They didn't have the script written, but they had the entire plot line kind of figured out.
Yeah.
And I do think it kind of happened very abruptly. We had some other ideas on the way that we wanted it to go. We worked with what we had, and I think that there are some really funny moments in it. In Lost World, if the ending seems a little abrupt, it is entirely on Warren and I, because that was the first time on a Sonic story that we were able to come up with the idea and write the script from beginning to end. Okay. And I think the thing in maybe we just kind of took the easy way out and ran out of time. Yeah, maybe that's what we did. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Possible always. Let's see. Which of the projects you worked is the most you? The most
In Lost World?
in your whole
In my whole experience. In my whole experience, probably a show called Bump in the Night.
Ah, yes, the claymation.
Yes. I created that show with my partner, who is also my oldest friend. We know each other since we were children. And I remember when the first episode aired, my mother called me on the phone, and she said, "Jesus, Ken, you've been drawing that thing since you were 7 years old."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So clearly that was born from my heart.
I can imagine. Yes. When you had to write for Sonic for the first time, which incarnation of the previous one inspired you the most? Or is it just your entire own thing?
It was pretty much our own thing. And I'm sure that there are certain Sonic fans that will be outraged by this, but I'm not a Sonic fan particularly. I mean, I don't hate Sonic, but I don't play the games.
Sure.
I don't know the history, and there is a small but very vocal group of fans that are not happy at all with some of the things that Warren and I have done. But we think it's true to what is being asked of us, not only by our producers, who we need to answer to, but by the majority of the fans, based on questions the producers have been asking and things that they've been reading.
Sure. Well, at least the two robots are very popular.
Yeah, the two robots are great. I love them.
Cubot, Norbot.
Cubot and Norbot, yes. They almost got cut from the series. There were some questions from one of the groups of producers that they were really funny. They were great, but that Eggman wouldn't have that kind of relationship with a pair of robots. And obviously, we ended up winning that argument because even if he doesn't or didn't have that, he can have it now if it's really funny and works.
That's true, sure. But Lazy Town, did you really have to go to Iceland to?
I was happy to go to Iceland. Yes, indeed. Everything is done under the roof there. And Magnus Sheving, the creator of Lazy Town, he likes to exert a lot of control over every aspect of the production and really wants the writers in the room. If you come to my Lazy Town panel, I actually have a little bit of video I shot of him giving direction to the writers.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I'll go there. Let's see, is there any other question you want?
Yeah, the SE3.
Oh, yes. As you said, there's a very strong vocal group. There's a strong vocal group to Sonic the Hedgehog fans that want the Sonic Adventure style stories back. Mm-hmm. Are you any interested in bringing more of the extensive Sonic's friends into the story, or is that a no-no by Sega?
I wouldn't say it's a no-no by Sega. Do you mean as playable characters or in the cutscenes? In
cutscenes, yes.
I'm happy to bring everybody to the party. I think it would be cool to like not even have Tails, have him just captured and have him have his own little B story somewhere. Have Sonic team up with one or two of the other characters. That would be really fun.
So when you had to write Sonic Generations Shadow, you didn't was really negative or neutral, Bob the Scroll, whatever.
I'm trying to think if there are any characters in Sonic that I dislike, and no. I'm happy to write any of them.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's another one about Sonic Adventure 3, because there's a major hype about Sonic Adventure 3 right now. So we were wondering if you'd be interested, for example, writing something more like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, like bigger story, like.
Well, I would love to write bigger stories, but I'm not familiar with the Sonic Adventures that you're talking about.
Oh, you're not?
No, like I said, I didn't come into this being a Sonic player or a Sonic fan. I was aware of the existence of the character, of course, and peripherally knew what he was about, but I knew nothing about his history or anything. So I kind of Wikipedia and I watched some cutscenes from various games on YouTube. But I really don't know the chronology. It's like the Happy Tree Friends. We don't know the episodes as well as the fans do. We have to go to the Wikipedia page to make sure that we haven't already killed them in that particular fashion, that particular fashion. Yeah, they keep track.
That's amazing. That's great. Let's see. One final Sonic question. My apologies.
No problem.
Deadly Six. Did you make that up or Sega did?
What thing? Oh, the Deadly Six? They made it up. They definitely wanted those characters in the game. They had a lot of input on what the characters were like and how they acted. Warren and I also had input in all of that. And obviously we put the words in their mouths.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, I think we're done. Or
I think we have everything.
Oh, great. What's this for?
It's a documentary about the Sonic fandom.
Oh, okay.
we're really interested in your writing style, so we did a bit of history. Wanted to see how it's coming apart.
Yeah, and I would just like to say to that small and vocal group of fans who hate me and think that I should be fired and never write another thing, sorry you feel that way. I'm glad you care about the character so much.
Oh, that's very noble of you.
Yeah, I think so.
That's that. Well, thanks very much for your time.
You're welcome.
That was fantastic.
And that concludes our amazing interview. Yeah, I'm sorry for the horrible quality. Proper video discussing about it will be coming soon.